completely vanished here. The show seems to want us to empathize with the orcs for some reason, like they're some misunderstood oppressed minority or something. There's literally a scene where an orc begs his commander not to send him off to war before hovering protectively over his orc wife and baby. That is horrific. You still would though, wouldn't you?
Do you remember how orcs are born? They're spawned from mud. And they come to life, full-aged and ready to kill. That's the actual LTR lore. There's no, oh, I don't want to kill, I've got a wife or whatever. Why did you make Rings of Power so woke? And I like woke, I'm woke. But there's like a level of woke that's just cringe. It's like you added gay sex to this situation that never had gay sex in the original situation. Or you added a girl boss in that situation or whatever. It's like, I'm not anti-woke, but I am anti-fucking continuity breaks. There's never been a non-homicidal orc in any of the fucking LOTR lore ever. Like, that's weird. Why add that? It's like you're just proving that you can't respect the source material. Like you're incapable of it.
I mean, do you not understand that orcs are not individuals in the sense that humans are? They're a force of nature. They're a blunt instrument to be wielded by evil. They don't care if they charge into battle and get slaughtered by the hundreds. They exist only for war. In the Two Towers, they get spawned into existence, have a helmet slapped onto their head and a sword thrust into their hand, and their first question is literally, what do you want me to kill and destroy? They don't have private lives, and you can't make me empathize with them. They are monsters. At this point, Tolkien must be spinning in his
I fucking hate orcs, particularly because they're like the Nazis and the Republicans. They don't have feelings. They just rape and murder. That's all they do. Rape, murder, corrupt, and punish you if you don't follow their god. That's all they do. There's no difference between orcs and Republicans. They're the same thing. That's who he was talking about.
So fast that you could hook him up to a dynamo and power the entire national grid with him. This show is quite simply an abomination, a ruined, corrupted form of entertainment, twisted and mutilated, lost beyond all hope of redemption. And if Amazon had any common sense whatsoever, they would cast it into the fire, destroy it before it consumes us all. Anyway, that's all I've got for today, thank fuck.
Yeah, thank you. This was a really good review, actually. The Critical Drinker. I like his name. He's got a bottle in his mouth. Wow, you're really embracing the alcoholism, huh? I drink and I say things. I'm here to deliver reviews, breakdowns, and analysis on modern... Oh, I like him. I like this guy. Modern entertainment media. Expect a healthy dose of sarcasm, biting criticism, and low-functioning alcoholism. For sponsorship and advertising inquiries, email criticaldrinker@blackshore.com. I don't want sponsorship or advertising inquiries. I don't want them. I would never be a member of any. I'd never be a member of any group that would have me as a member. I don't want to be a part of some consortium or something. I don't want people sending me opportunities. I don't care about that. Like, maybe if I had ever thought there was somebody worth supporting besides my mother or whatever. But the people that I thought were supporting completely abandoned me. So, here we are. Yeah, let's hear him talk about Falling Down. Falling Down is a weird movie.
You know, we often talk these days
about...
I
liked this movie a lot because it's about losing your temper, which I do all the time, you know? But when I came back later, about 2 years ago, I was like, this is a terribly red pill-coated, right-wing mass shooter premising, like, totally fucking terrible right-wing allegory for, like, modern white-hot rage, like Caucasian rage. And, like, I really didn't like it the second time I watched it. I was like, oh, this is like a mental masturbation fantasy about white guys who don't hold their temper, you know? It's weird. You know, at the end of it, he, like, tries to kill a cop. He, like, tries to kill a cop on a pier. He's, like, aiming a gun at the cop. And that was all part of it too. It's like, and in the end, the right-winger turns his gun on the police and dies by suicide by cop. Which was such a weird ending for that. They're like, yeah, when the right-winger goes nuts and loses his temper and shit, the cop just kills him, and it is suicide by cop. It's insane. Like the right wing. That's the end of Falling Down. He commits suicide by cop. It's insane. The cop tells him, he's like, I'm going to kill you if you reach for your weapon. And he's like, I've got to reach for the weapon. I can't go home. I've lost my family. And he's like, don't reach for the weapon. I'm going to fucking kill you. You can make it back. It's a temporary problem. You can get out of this. And he's like, no, I'm white and I'm angry. I've got to reach for the gun. I love my gun or whatever. And like, and so the cop kills him. And yeah, that's pretty fitting for Republicans. Yeah, that's how they generally go. Not like them as Republican, not them as like a group, but like the bad ones. That's generally how they go. They die in a bunker or suicide by cop. Like the Butler guy. The guy who shot Trump and Butler, he was killed by cops in under a second. You know, it was like 3 seconds and they killed him. Pretty much immediately. Because that is usually the end of the extreme right-wing story. They die in a bunker, or they get shot by some sniper, or hosed by cops, you know.
Movies that have aged badly, whether because of changing technology, fashions, attitudes, or because the zeitgeist.
Yeah, the whole white shirt, you know, middle-class, blue-collar thing was disgusting. You know, like, they made fun of it on King of the Hill. King of the Hill, Hank Hill's Hank Hill's look is stolen from Falling Down. That's how Falling Down guy looked, you know?
Captured so perfectly at the
all the people in Office Space, they look like Falling Down.
Time no longer exists. But there's another class of movies that have actually become more potent, more poignant, more meaningful and relevant as
I like this guy. He's like instantly the best movie reviewer I've ever heard. And that's weird because I used to watch Leonard Maltin and shit on bad cable channels at 4 in the morning. I used to watch a lot of fucking Siskel and Ebert and shit. I actually was into movie reviewers. I thought they were fucking horrible. You know, everything they said I disagreed with most of the time. So I was like fascinated with movie reviewers. I was like, man, how did you build a career out of being so bad at reviewing movies, you know? But like this guy, he's actually good.
Years have passed, and one of those movies is Falling Down, an absolutely excellent thriller from 1993, directed by Joel Schumacher, and one of my all-time personal favorites.
Me too,
the film tells the story of Bill.
Though I don't like the movie, it did not age well. You know, it is like now that we've had our culture war out in the open, it's so right-wing coded, I can't believe I ever liked it in the first fucking place. And this happened to me a lot. This happened to me with Terminator 2. This happened to me with Aliens. This happened to me with Alien. This happened to me with Alien 3, Alien Resurrection, fucking all those Mario Vassar action films and shit like that. What was that sound? Oh, God. We know that sound. It's death coming. Where are you, pig? You didn't come. What? Man, I one-shot her. These scoundrels can't take my 124 strength. Where's the other bag?
Foster, a working-class man caught in traffic in the middle of an LA heatwave.
Like, I swear to God, a lot of the problems with the right wing, they lay directly at the feet of Mario Vassar. I don't know if you guys who know who Mario Vassar is. He's the producer of almost every 80s action film. And he was like pushing these cocaine ideals, like in Predator 2, he was pushing this idea that all these cocaine cartels had taken over LA and shit like that. So all these super cops come descending on LA and they end up fighting the Predator and shit like this. And that's Mario Vassar for you. Terminator 2, you know, they're all fighting the government, shit like this, and shooting up cop cars and, you know, cop helicopters and shit like that outside of Miles Dyson's factory and shit like this. Just insane. It really was like right-wing coded fight the government shit, just like fucking Ted Kaczynski. And now I really dislike Mario Vassar films because all of them are like these red pill coded things that led to school shootings, you know? It did lead to like school shootings and shit like this. And Call of Duty. And Halo.
who finally snaps under the pressure and flees the scene. What follows is an
Have I guys ever told you how much I dislike Halo and Call of Duty? And I disliked Halo and Call of Duty when they were cool. I really did actively dislike them. I was like, God damn it, I like Halo. I think it's a good game. And I finally did like Halo 2 when they gave me a sword. But like overall, like I was just like, oh, Halo's so cheesy. I can't stand it. It was so schlocky. It was so schlocky. Even for a 15-year-old, it was fucking schlocky. It was so schlocky. I was like, I know that I've got better taste than this. But, you know, but we played a lot of Halo, like way too much Halo. Now, one thing I did that a lot of other gamers did do, one thing I didn't do that a lot of other gamers did do, which is play Halo multiplayer. I couldn't play Halo multiplayer. I was like, why? I played Counter-Strike 1.6, an actually good game, like Counter-Strike 2. Why would you play Halo Infinite over Counter-Strike 2? You just wouldn't. You just wouldn't. You just wouldn't. You'd be like, no, Counter-Strike's gonna give me a better experience. You know, like, so all these guys, like, love to brag about how they grew up on Halo and shit like this. And I was just like, why? Halo was fucking terrible. If you were cool, you would talk about time splitters.
Poignant and often violent journey across the City of Angels as Bill tries to make his way home in time for his daughter's birthday. And along the way, the film delivers some of the most scathingly brutal critiques of modern American culture, consumerism, wealth inequality, social breakdown,
but it was also
and societal indifference that you're ever likely to see. It's a film that I tried in my own clumsy way to review several years ago, and while I had a good stab at explaining why I found it so impactful at the time, there's a lot more I wanted to say about the deeper meanings and themes that the film addresses so well, and maybe even a few misconceptions that I'd like to tackle. And so, here we are, staring down the barrel of the closest I'm ever likely to get to a video essay. You might be bored to tears by this one, or you might just find it helpful and informative. I'm not really sure, to be honest, but I'm gonna give it a try anyway. So grab your whammy burger and let's get started.
Whammy burger.
Part 1, The American Dream. To understand where this film and its main character are coming from, you need to understand the nature of the American dream and how it became the foundation of traditional American culture, basically symbolizing everything the country aspires to and represents. Only then can you see how it became the framework for the great American lie that permeates every aspect of falling down. In broad terms, the American dream is the idea of upward mobility, a true meritocracy free from the constraints of oppressive class systems or government bureaucracy. America sold itself as the land of opportunity, a place where people could come from all corners of the world to make a fresh start, to carve out a new future for themselves, to stand or fall on their own merits. It was a world where even the average man could attain wealth, success, and happiness with enough hard work, innovation, entrepreneurship, and good old-fashioned can-do attitudes. And it represents a kind of unwritten contract between you and the rest of society, that if you just follow the rules, do the right thing, work hard and contribute, then you'll ultimately be rewarded. It's a noble idea to aspire to for sure, but like so many noble ideals, it's ripe for exploitation and corruption, which brings us neatly to the world of falling down. Part 2, A Hot Day. The movie introduces us to our main character, Bill, who's stuck in heavy traffic because roadworks are holding everything up. And in fact, the idea of pointless and unnecessary roadworks holding up people's lives becomes a...
You know, REM did a video called Everybody Hurts that was like trying to like message. They were like trying to dethrone the message that Falling Down had about losing your temper over road rage and becoming like a road rage guy and threatening to kill people on the highway and shit like this. And so REM did a video called Everybody Hurts to sort of show a different reality. Although I think they did that first. I think they did it first. And I think the REM video is where Falling Down got its inspiration from, actually.
Running theme throughout this movie, and it's great to see Bill's different reactions as he progresses. Anyway, at first glance, Bill seems to embody the essence of the American dream. A typical white-collar worker with a shirt and tie, a simple practical haircut and glasses. The kind of solid, dependable, middle-class guy you can imagine working some cushy office job in a small town in America, driving home each night to his family in a nice suburban house with a picket fence. What you find instead is that the American dream has become a nightmare. there. Bill's driving some shitty old car that barely even runs. The aircon's out, a fly is constantly annoying him, and he's surrounded by the sweltering heat and pollution of the dystopian LA hellscape. Yep. Everyone else around him is angry, frustrated, and miserable because ultimately they're all in the same situation as him. All of them are toiling through heat and noise to work all day in jobs they hate just to make enough money to get through the month so that the whole thing can start over again. All of them have been sold the same lie, and these lies become a running theme throughout the movie, from the lowly convenience store owner who jacks up his prices to squeeze more money out of his customers, to the fast food chain advertising plump, delicious burgers only to serve up cheap, shitty food instead. The homeless man pretending to be a military vet to con sympathy money out of passers-by, to the construction workers doing unnecessary road repairs just to justify their budgets. All of them are symptoms of a broken system, a broken society that encourages greed, selfishness, and waste, and all in the name of money. Everyone in this film is out for themselves. Nobody cares about doing the right thing or helping others or contributing to a grander ideal. The American dream corrupted and distorted into a dystopian, uncaring nightmare world that only Bill seems able to see. Take the scene in the fast food joint, for example, where Bill tries to plead his case to the terrified customers at gunpoint. You get the sense that he's really trying to make them understand where he's coming from, to help them see just how much they're being conned and fucked over by a giant corporation that could probably make way better food for them, but chooses instead to advertise a complete lie and deliver the bare minimum to maximize their profits. And it's interesting when he says this that everyone else just stares back at him like dumb, mindless cattle, and the only person in the whole restaurant who responds to his plea is a little kid, someone who hasn't been completely absorbed by the system yet. Or later in the movie, when Bill stumbles into a rich neighborhood while fleeing from the police, cutting his hand on a barbed wire fence and angrily lashing out at the family who live there. What he discovers instead is that they're actually just caretakers, and the house is instead owned by a rich plastic surgeon. The man at the very top of this pyramid makes his fortune by turning people into something that they're not. In short, he's a man who sells lies for a living. And the thing is, Bill himself isn't above these lies either, which brings me on to Part 3, the briefcase. Bill's briefcase becomes a pretty important item for him as a character. It's the only possession that he chooses to take with him when he abandons his car, and it's something that he's willing to risk his life to protect when a pair of gang members try to rob him. But why? It contains nothing of value, as we eventually find out when he gives it away, so why does he fight so hard to keep it? Why not just hand it over? Well, I guess there's two conclusions you can...
You've never been there. It's if you let one person steal from you, they will all steal from you. It opens this floodgate. And it doesn't matter if it's some rando downtown that you never see again. The first time somebody jacks you and you let it happen, you don't do something, it'll just keep happening. That's how it works. It labels you a victim to the world somehow, and everybody sees that you're a pushover, and then they just keep doing it to you. Those dead bodies mine? I don't think they are. Oh, I'm gonna go deeper. No, that's not what I wanted. No, that's not what I wanted either. Oh, damn it. That's the way out, but I want to go deeper. Somebody's here. Oh, there he is. It's Panther. Well, he's got a pet. Oh no, it was a pet. It was a pet that I saw. This guy came to the Tindrum sewer, or sorry, the Fab sewers with a panther, which is an odd choice. I don't think I want to kill anybody, but if he fucks with me, I will. Gotta make sure my flag is off. Hi, kitty. You want to sit on my lap? You're sitting on my mouse. I need you off of it. Yep. Sit on my lap. Hi, kitty. I love you.
Draw from this. One is that it's a simple matter of principle for Bill. He's not willing to just roll over and give away something he worked hard to attain just because.
Yep. I'm not either. I definitely risked my life for a pack of cigarettes one time because this guy was like, empty your fucking pockets, and I was like, I've got nothing. I've got a wallet and a pack of cigarettes. I spent my last $5 on a pack of cigarettes. He was like, nah, you were coming to meet some girl. You brought money and dope. And I was like, no, I didn't. I lied. And he was like, I don't believe you. And I was like, all I have is a cigarette pack, and I'm not giving it to you. I'm gonna need it after this. You're leveling a fucking gun in my face, and I'm gonna need a cigarette after this. I'm not giving you my pack of cigarettes, because then, you know, I would be a bitch. And he was like, give me the fucking cigarettes. Give me the fucking money now. Give me your wallet. And I was like, no, nope. And he was like, what? And I was like, I'm not giving you shit. I've never given shit to anyone. I'm not giving it to you now. I'm not giving you the pack of cigarettes. Shoot me over the fucking pack of cigarettes then. You know, I was like that angry when he shoved the gun in my face. It was insane. I was like, shoot me over the pack of cigarettes. And I started sliding backwards like fucking like Johnny Depp in Pirates of the Caribbean. I was like sort of kiting backwards from him. He's like, why are you moving away from me? And I was like, I don't want you to pistol whip me with that fucking gun in your hand. And he was like, come closer now. And I was like, no, no. And he was like, motherfucker, you'll do what I say. And I was like, no, no. And he fired the gun in the air 3 times at 4 in the fucking morning or 3:30, something like that. In the middle of Aurora with kids and their grandmothers around. He fired the gun in 3 times in the air. And I was like, well, at that point, he's going to have to leave too. So I just took the chance and ran, and he didn't chase me.
Two assholes decide they can.
I was like, at that point, he's gonna have to run too. So if he runs after me, you know, we're gonna have a battle anyway. So I just took my chances and ran at that point. He didn't bother chasing me.
Take it from him. He's still pumped up and angry after his encounter at the convenience store.
And yeah, he easily could have shot me over the pack of cigarettes. You know, I was supposed to meet some girl and smoke meth with her. He believed that I had money and dope on me. You know, they set me up through Craigslist. Damn it, the arrow drop is so weird. 100 head, 100 head. Oh, this was the dead end. I forgot that this is dead end, but I still need kill credits, so. But I only need 8. 8 is not bad. Ooh, Tangemic Ring. This is a small. Oh, no, never mind. I can vendor it. 30 silver is 30 silver. That's fine. 30 silver's good. Yeah, I'm gonna finish this quest.
And
Definitely.
probably
I don't
in
want
no
to
mood
die
to be
either.
pushed around by anyone
always
or
die in this stupid
anything.
game.
It's a fair enough assessment, but I think the more interesting answer is what the briefcase represents to Bill as a person.
It means losing the only thing you have left, and it was a good symbology. It taught me a big lesson about, nope, even if you're alone and unarmed and some motherfucker with a gun in your fucking face is telling you what to do, if you give in, it gets worse at that point. If you give them anything, it doesn't get better because you gave. It's like this is probably a secret to most people, but if you are being robbed and you give them what they want, they will just take more. That's how that works. Maybe you've never been robbed before, but I have. And like, if you give them anything, they just keep coming. They want more after that. They'll find you again where you live, and they'll fucking rob your house or something. You can't ever capitulate to fucking thieves. You can't, or they will show up where you live and they'll jack you. So it's like, and I knew I couldn't show quarter or fear or anything like that. I mean, I came up in the ghetto and shit where people have guns and stuff. I didn't come up in the ghetto. I came up in middle class white Denver. But by the age of 20, I was around 5 points, you know? Scoring meth and shit like this, or up in Centennial and shit like this, and where the white boys are. And like, I don't know, it's just weird and shit. Like, by the age of 20 and shit, I was not a scrub anymore. Most of the people I know are. Except for, like, my friend Jed. My friend Jed is, like, the only person I know who is not a scrub. Like, full blown.
A briefcase is something carried.
My best friend isn't either, but, you know... But I just sort of assume that goes without saying. But I mean, Jed's actually really hard. He's like actually a hard guy, you know. He's not like a hardcore personality. He's actually quite soft when it comes to that. But when it comes to reality, he's not a pussy. I've seen him face down bears and people, fist fights, and all types of crazy shit. He is a hard motherfucker, probably harder than me, you know.
Almost exclusively by working men.
I know he's been robbed at gunpoint for while he was buying cocaine from a cocaine dealer before. That's probably a secret that I shouldn't have told. But I mean, like, I know he's been robbed at gunpoint and got out of that situation too. I'm not going to talk about it, but he got out of that situation the same way I did. You know, he said no too. He was like, "No, you're gonna have to shoot me." Because if you give them anything, they're just going to take more. That's how thieves work. Thievery, armed robbery is about seeing what you're willing to do. If you're willing to say no, they're not going to shoot you most of the time. Thievery is almost never worth like killing somebody, especially not for a $5 pack of cigarettes or whatever. And if you're smart, you understand that. That's how I was able to be a cashier for so long, you know, and not be worried about being robbed and shit like that. I was never robbed, you know, because I just don't fear it. Nothing they could ever do. Nothing in the 7-Eleven is worth murder. You know, nothing in the 7-Eleven is worth murder for. Nothing. Not even the money. I've definitely worked at like 5 different 7-Elevens. Rings are good. They might be a lot of money. Wait, what did the other one drop? I'm gonna put these heads away because they weigh too much. I'm gonna break all these swords, which is stupid. Wish there was like a break. Right-click break. Ooh, headshot. No, he was torso. Ooh.
Professionals who work in skilled jobs, men that are intelligent and productive and actively contribute to society, men that are economically viable. This is how Bill desperately wants to see himself despite everything he's going through, even though we eventually find out that it's no longer the case and hasn't been for quite some time.
No, I am
Bill's
not
actually
economically
been unemployed
viable
for months
at all.
now, but he still goes through the motions of driving to work each day, wearing his office clothes, carrying his briefcase, trying to maintain the facade that he's still part of the machine, that he's a functioning part of society, that he's still economically viable, lying to himself as much as the rest of the world's. The briefcase for him is more than what it contains. It's more than a piece of leather and metal. It's a symbol of everything that Bill chooses to believe about himself, the life that he once had and desperately wants back again. And it's interesting that he finally chooses to give it up to a homeless beggar after swapping it for a bag full of guns, because he recognizes it's just as useless to that man as it is to him now. Bit by bit, he's letting go of the lies, letting go of the facade of the man he believed he was, and accepting the man he is now. And it's interesting how this is reflected in the weapons and clothes that he carries with him, and how they all follow a logical chain of events. His first encounter at the convenience store yields up a baseball bat, and without the baseball bat, he wouldn't have been able to fight off the two muggers who tried to take his briefcase, which in turn yields up a butterfly knife that one of them drops. And without the butterfly knife, he wouldn't have been able to take down the gun store owner, which in turn allows Bill to trade in his shirt and tie for more military-style clothing, and his ultimate weapon to take out the hated construction crews blocking the freeway. The very thing that started this whole day for him. It creates a nice chain of because of storytelling instead of the dreaded and then. Bill has a bazooka to blow up the construction crew because he killed the gun store owner. He killed the gun store owner because he had a hidden butterfly knife. He had the butterfly knife because he took it from the two punks who tried to rob him. He was able to defeat the punks because he had a baseball bat. He had the baseball bat because he took it from the convenience store owner.
Punk has been repurposed to mean anarchist, which is somebody who doesn't agree with the tyranny of the fucking government. Every time you call criminal punks, it really bothers me, and it also shows that you've never met a punker before, that you're not as smart as you sound, that you're kind of ignorant, you know. And I'm not a fucking criminal. Don't call me one.
And he was only in the convenience store because of the fucking roadworks that made him snap in the first place. Nice. Part 4, not economically viable. Yeah. One of the most poignant scenes of the movie for me is when Bill spots a man protesting outside of a bank after having his loan application refused. A man just like Bill, dressed in the same exact clothes. A man who did everything he was told to do, followed the rules, tried to play the game the right way, only to get beaten and tossed aside by a system that only cared about him as long as it could exploit him, as long as he was economically viable. A man who was sold the exact same lie as Bill, that if he just worked hard and did the right thing, he'd be rewarded for it in the end.
Bullshit. The truth about life is, God don't make no mistakes. Ain't no such thing as free. And, God helps those who help themselves. Because God won't help you. It's weird that they're all about God, but it's more sort of it's more of a metaphor kind of. It's like, you know, like God, or you can replace God with nature. Nature won't help you. Nature doesn't make mistakes. All of it makes sense if you can see the outer vision, and you know, or whatever, you know, or whatever. So yeah, like and like if you think you can sway any outcome, pretty much, yeah, you probably can with money. But overall, you can't really sway any outcome. Humans are going to do what they want to do. Humans aren't very tractable beings. If they've got their mind to rape you or fuck with you or hurt you or mess with you, they're going to do that. You can't stop it. I need to equip arrows or die. So if I just full charge while they're in my face and shoot the headshot, it's like double the damage everybody else does. I'm going to use it. Things that hurt aren't too good. Torso my ass, that was a headshot. God damn it, I fucking flick shot and missed it. It's hard to flick shot in this game because it's so inaccurate. Yep, like that. You gotta shoot, like, on the down turn. I'm learning that, too. Oh, the pig got hurt pretty bad. I must have shot him or something. Okay. Heads, scrolls, swords, necklace, swords. No. Torches. I mean, I don't know. I buy torches a lot. Maybe I should keep these torches, huh? All the rest of that stuff should stack, I think. Bag is full, yeah. So, I want to go deeper in and kill the boss. Whoever was here, they left. I saw the panther leave as they ran. I don't think they killed through. Or maybe he did skip. Maybe he went to go kill the boss before I could. So let's go see. And then maybe he left. Oops. You are not following me. Fuck. The fucking pig will not attack. I don't know if I like taming anymore. I think I want to drop to I think I want to drop taming completely out. The amount of hassle it takes to keep this pig alive, I don't know, man. And the amount of fuck-ups that the pig does, and taming is what originally drew me to this game, but I don't think he did the taming system well. God damn it, I flick shot it. Advanced creature control, the 94. I don't think I need that. See, yeah, like the amount of points it takes to be a tamer when I'm already like running archery. Technically, I should put all my points into archery now, which is fucking stupid. I need to rebuy the breathing control book or whatever it is. That shit is expensive. It's like 70G or something dumb. I don't know. That's not that bad for me. I have 500 gold. But, like, yeah, I do need to maybe drop my points down to, like, 30 taming or whatever it takes to get, like, a horse. And just use horses. Because the pet system, it's so attractive, but he did not execute it correctly at all. Or maybe he did. I don't know. I'm not a game developer. Maybe he did. Maybe if pets were super OP, it just wouldn't be that good for the game, you know? I guess. I do see the logic in that. BM Hunter did kind of ruin WoW, I would say. BM Hunter kind of ruined WoW. It definitely did. Everybody had a hunter. Everybody. Because it was easier to solo than any of the other classes by far. Oh, I don't know. Demo Warlock is also really strong. But yeah. I do like the pet, you know, it is fun. It's part of the art. I don't like how loud the pet is. That's another thing. But I do like having it. It is like damage that I don't have, you know. It is strong, but it's not good in PvP. I can't buy survival with points. I can only do that with armor. And or I don't know, I could wear heavier armor, I suppose. I could take all the points that I put into taming and pigs and stuff. Another option would be to put metal armor on wolves, as opposed to, like, really, like, flimsy pigs. Despite how big this pig is, he dies in, like, 3 hits to even crappy PvE mobs. And, yeah, I'm sure the armor does help it, but it probably only helps it by 10% or 20% or something. It probably doesn't... It's not going to make the damage cut down by 75%. It's going to cut it down by 20% or something. And that's kind of negligible. I'm learning now that maybe taming just really was not the right spec, and I maybe should get out of it while I still can. I'm so addicted to having pets, and it's such a waste of fucking time. Every time I have to go get pigs is such a waste of time. I did not miss that shot. You fucking Matrix dodged. What was that? Go get this other one. Ah, your fucking video fucked me up. Ah, I shot my pig. Son of a bitch. Do not kill my pig. Do not kill my pig. Yeah, if you don't fight me. Like, honestly, I think rather than have the pig, I think I would honestly be happier with ecumenical, frankly. But I don't have good psyche. No, it would be like maybe go back to spear and just start stabbing things. But no, I don't like spear anymore. I'm gonna sleep my gray bar away. Haven't been down to the basement in a while. What's up, kitty? Headshot 97. Headshot dead. Torso, which is a lie. Maybe. I don't know. Where's your torso arrow? I don't know. Is that torso? I don't think that's torso. I guess that's torso. It really looks like neck and head. Whatever. Sometimes shooting is like you get in the zone and you can shoot really well, and then other times you just miss no matter how hard you're trying. It's weird. It's the bloom that they do. I hope that they sell New World. It would be stupid not to. They should sell New World. They obviously couldn't handle, like, making the game themselves. But they should let somebody else who's good take a try, like, I don't know. Like, I would even be okay with Obsidian taking New World, frankly. Somebody needs to take New World. I put too much time into it, and it is a good game. It's like, I'm pissed off about losing New World the way that Ash is pissed off about losing Ashes. But see, New World was a real game that existed, that had beautiful graphics and music, and was a really genuinely good game that they moved to the consoles and shit like that. Ashes is a jack-off EA ripoff, like an MLM, basically. New World was not an MLM. It was actually quite the opposite. It was like, spend 30... I bought my copy for 30 bucks. And then I bought my copy for 30 bucks because I waited. I was like, I don't think New World's my game. I waited until I heard it was good, and then I bought it for 30 bucks on a summer sale. And, you know, and it was the best 30 bucks I ever spent, because it's like, I got like 2,000 hours of entertainment out of that. Because the game is good. It was good enough to port it to the console. I don't know why they fucking shut it down. They need to sell it to somebody who can afford to buy it. They should have sold it. You know who made an offer was Helk and the other guy from Rust. You know, the Rust devs offered to buy New World pretty much in the media. Because it is a tragedy. Somebody does need to buy that game. It's fucking stupid. Like, New World could be New World could be Rustified, and it could be so good. It could be so fucking good. It already is good. But with just a few tweaks, New World could be turned into the greatest RPG ever made. I know it could. Like, well, right now, the greatest RPG that ever was made is WoW, and then Skyrim. But I think New World's in the top 10, definitely, and it's weird because it's like, you know, it could have been one of the best games ever made, but it was mishandled. It wasn't a bad game, though. That's the difference. Ashes is a bad game. Like, you know, or I don't know if I haven't played Ashes, but they say it's a bad game, you know.
Idea to aspire to for sure, but like so many noble ideals, is ripe for exploitation and corruption, which brings us neatly to the world of Falling Down. Part 2, A Hot Day. The movie introduces us to our...
back, you fucking did, you worthless piece of shit YouTube software cocksucker. Get fucking competent about skipping videos. I did not skip this video, piece of shit.
Beaten and tossed aside by a system that only cared about him as long as it could exploit him, as long as he was economically viable. A man who was sold the exact same lie as Bill, that if he just worked hard and did the right thing, he'd be rewarded for it in the end. But he wasn't, and with nothing left to lose, with his whole world falling down around him, he's striking back in the only way he knows how. And it's no coincidence that as this is going on, Bill picks up a snow globe as a present for the daughter that he's not even allowed to see anymore. A desperate gesture by a desperate man clinging to the hope of something better. And what melody is it playing to the man whose whole life has fallen down as his counterpart across the street is arrested and taken away? Jesus Christ, remember when movies had this level of thought and complexity put into them? Part 5, Prendergast.
I miss it.
Bill's
Very
nemesis
bad.
in this movie, and in many ways the flip side to his character, is Detective Prendergast with the LAPD, an aging cop on his last day before taking early retirement and heading to Arizona with his wife. An affable, soft-spoken man who...
Tragedy was really strong in this movie. Like, the sense of tragedy is like, it's always his last day at the job or whatever. It's kind of crazy.
Avoids conflict, who took a desk job rather than walk the streets. Everyone sees him as kind of a pussy. He's disrespected by his co-workers, bossed around by his domineering wife, and even his captain makes no attempt to hide his disgust for the man. But as it turns out, he's the only one to connect Bill's various random crimes, and pretty soon he's hot on the man's trail.
There's
and it's interesting because the closer he gets to his target, the more Prendergast seems to come alive again, because he's finally back doing the thing that he's actually passionate about. Because the reality is that just like everyone else, Prendergast has been living a lie. Not only has he been lying to everyone around him, but he's actually been lying to himself. He took a desk job not because he was a coward, but to placate his unstable wife who couldn't handle him being in danger. He took early retirement and agreed to move to the middle of nowhere because it was what she wanted. He tried to convince himself that he wanted it too, but the more the film progresses, the more honest he actually becomes, until he finally admits that he did all of it just for her. I mean, I'm assuming he did it out of guilt because he once convinced his wife to have a child against her better judgment, a child that subsequently died and which he seems to blame himself for. And this next bit is entirely guesswork on my part, but I always wondered if the film was hinting that maybe, just maybe, his wife might have been responsible for the death, because Prendergast makes a point of saying that he always knew she wasn't cut out for motherhood and that she did it entirely for him. He also remarks that it was strange his daughter supposedly died from infant death syndrome despite being 2 years old and apparently strong and healthy. Like I say, it's just a theory and the film doesn't confirm it one way or another, but it does give you something to think about. Part 6. Bill is everyone. You know, it's interesting how the discourse around this movie and its protagonist has changed over the years. The general perception of Bill at the time was that he was basically always a villain deep down, and the movie is all about gradually exposing him for who he really is, stripping away the lies that he tells about himself to show the violent, controlling man beneath. And the main thing they use to cite this are the revelations about Bill's past that gradually come out, that he's divorced, that his wife took out a restraining order against him, and that even his own mother is kind of afraid of him. A home movie showing a frustrated Bill arguing with his wife is further proof that the idyllic life he wants to get back never really existed, and that the man must be living in some kind of delusion. I'll be honest though, I don't fully agree with that assessment. I think what you're actually seeing in that video is a marriage on the brink of collapse. Two people who no longer love or even like each other, trying and failing to put on the facade of happiness for the sake of their daughter, telling yet another lie in the hope they can make it come true somehow. Later in the movie, his ex-wife specifically mentions that Bill was never violent or aggressive towards her in any way, and that she was personally against the restraining order because she felt it was an unfair punishment that would do more harm than good.
But the judge said we should make an example of him. So he can't come within 100 feet of us.
Well, that sounds fair. So basically Bill got screwed over by an uncaring system.
Fucking DC. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Maybe the pig will fight the mob. No, I'm gonna die. I'm probably gonna die. I have a lot of regen. Maybe I get in. Maybe the scoundrel doesn't kill me. If I get in like right now. But no, I'm probably gonna die. At the end of this, I died to the fucking disconnect, and it's fucking video games, man. You know, I was thinking about whether I should play Grand Theft Auto 6 online or if I should play Grand Theft Auto 6 offline. Because offline, you can't get disconnected, you can't get fucking killed, you can't get fucking robbed, you can't get, you know, like, whatever. And it's just like, I don't know, maybe I just play 6 offline because 5 online is kind of a treadmill. It's kind of a daily treadmill. That's like all it really is. Like, it's not really... The missions are fun, and I expect them to be really good in 6, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just being negative. I don't know. But sometimes I think, like, maybe I should play offline so I don't get shit like this, you know? Come on, don't die. Please don't be dead. Please don't be dead. Tell me that the mob just despawns or something. Please, 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 please. If I spawn and I have 1 health left and I die, I'm going to be so angry. I'm dead, aren't I? Of course I am. I'm dead. It's alright, it happens. I can go all the way back, but I was at the boss. Oh, I'm alive, I'm alive. He killed my pig, fucking asshole. Killed my fucking pig, you fucking dick. I have so much loot, you fucking dick, you fucking dick. I needed to get out of there with that. Son of a fucking bitch. No. Then no, this GM's gonna say no. I know they will. Nope. They're not going to, are they? Nope. I know they aren't. I got fucked here, of course. What can I do? That's what developers do. They fuck you in the ass. That's who they are. Deep down inside. So annoying. I needed this fucking pig. I needed him for the boss, too. I needed him. I'm at the boss. The UE5 crash was really bad for me. Son of a bitch. I'm not gonna cry or whatever. I'm just gonna move on. Please stop. I'm sick of being fucked in the ass by developers and me fucking paying the costs of them doing business badly. I'm fucking sick of it. I'm sick of losing time to shithead developers who cause UE5 crashes and stuff. It's not really the developer's fault. It's UE5. To be fair, that's the Unreal Engine. That's not him. I wonder if I can just walk out with all these fucking heads. I fucking doubt it. I fucking doubt it. Hi, kitty. Yeah, you can sit on my lap again. Hold on, I gotta sit up. There we go. Why are your paws cold? Here, come sit. I just had to sit up. I'm not kicking you off. Man, come, kitty. Come sit. You want to sit in my lap? Oh. All I did was sit up. It's not a, you know, it's not a rejection, kitty. I wanted to be in bed by now, but no, UE5 had a crash and fucked me in the ass at 3 in the fucking morning, and now I can't kill the boss that easy, which is so, and I probably can. I probably do so much damage, but whatever. Ugh. Butcher the pig, see if I can get, what's it called? Nope. Or, well, maybe. Oh, I did. I got Mammalia. It's a 65. That's good. So, silver is good. It's light. Scrolls are good. They're light. Reagents are good. They're light. Rings are good. Is light. Gonna leave all the torches. Nope. Break the torches, all of them. The saddle, the cuprum, the tusks. Torch. Ooh, I have like 3 golden rings. Nice. Or more. The water, I don't need that. Tallow's no good. Compact horn is no good. Not compared to the other stuff. Eat the cold porridge because I'm about to fight a boss. Heads. I can't carry any more heads than this anyways. Scoundrel head, gold 60. Each one of these is 4 gold, so I lost like... I lost 16 gold over this. I should have executed him. I'm dumb. Yeah, I can't carry all this loot. I can't. The Razorback meat is part of it. What else? It's fine. Losing a pig isn't the end of the world. It seems really annoying that I have to pay the costs of the developer's incompetence. But I mean, what else is new? That's who these pieces of shit actually are deep down inside. That's who they are. They pass on the cost of business to the consumer, and I've got to pay the time cost because they can't make a competent fucking crash system or whatever. That's funny, but I think that NPC is modeled after Hemrick, which is kind of funny. He looks like Hemrick. Give me fucking heads, I guess. I'm gonna have to drop heads until I'm down to like 100 pounds. There goes 8 gold for no reason. 12 gold for no reason. That's not that much money though, so whatever. 140. Can I at least move? Yeah, but not fast enough to actually leave this place, which is just dumb. I'm just gonna dump the heads and call it a loss. Fuck it. Alright, asshole. Oh my god, did you guys just spawn? Yeah, you did. Oh, maybe I can get full charge off them, at least. Right on, let's use it. Okay, let's go while the getting's good. What? You are gonna kill me. Stop it. Why did this arrow go right through him? Because the piece of shit developer has to pass the cause of business on to me. Asshole. Why did that arrow go right through him? I could have lost that fight. Fucking dumb. Ooh, nice amethyst. Where 6 gold kind of makes up for the fucking problems. Kind of. Just destroyed a lot of heads, though. I shouldn't have destroyed as many as I did. Maybe there's a stack on the pig still. Yeah. Is that enough? No, it's still too much. I guess I can walk out under my own power. Yeah. Is there a way out down here? Oh, there's a chest. I forgot. Yeah. I was hoping that he would drop the scribing book. Nope. It was a gold. Fucking gold. Scribing book would have been way better. Now I can't move, suddenly. Because I picked up something. What did I pick up that's so heavy? Oh, 30,000 copper. 30,000 copper, are you serious? Oh my god. Cut it down to like 1111 or something. I can't see. Why is this off screen? Cut it down to like 1111 and see how much that is. Put it away. Put it away. Oh. I'm going to get respawned, aren't I? Yep. Let's get out of here. Fucking annoying. I can't get out this way. I guess you can, but it's in the other room. Why not just make that connect to some drop down so you can just do a cave outside? Why would you make me go out all the way through the dungeon again? Ugh. People that have no idea how to design even a dungeon, really. Alright, let's go all the way the fuck back out again. I'm not running this slow. I'm just not doing it. Fuck it. I don't care about 4 gold. You should let me out right here. It's stupid that you don't. Why did you aggro? I'm not near you at all. Did you spawn? Make sure she's not holding something good. What aggroed? I hate the way they run. Force arrow. It didn't work at all. Oh, it does interrupt spell casting. Okay, so I have an interrupt. I didn't know that. Okay. Okay, so I guess it is good. I do need it, but I didn't know that. No arrows. Nope, those are the wrong arrows. At least they don't do any damage to me. Picked up the head for no reason. That was the boss, but does it go deeper to let me out or whatever? No, this is like a dead end, isn't it? I don't know. Is this a dead end? Yeah, no. Wait. Oh, there is a way out. Right on, right on. Wait, is there loot? I didn't think to look. Yes. What was that? Oh, it's a crude shelf. Okay, I don't know if I need that, but... 11 tendemic rings. Let's get rid of the stack of heads. 33 miter bandages. A lot more porridge. Corrupt and spurt. And some arrows. I'm still underweight, which is good. That was the loot, I guess. Or maybe that box. Yeah, the box. Nice, yeah, that's good too. So, what couldn't I take? Let's see. None of it. So, 2 small rough ambers worth 64. 99 flakestone is worth more than these arrows. 21 cuprum can stack. What do you mean? My inventory's full. What? I have 45 pounds free. What are you talking about? My inventory is not full. 19 cuprum does not weigh, like, too much. What? Fucking developer, what are you talking about? Dude, I have 45 pounds free. What the fuck are you talking about? Is it because you don't stack? Yeah, it is that, huh? It is that. Fuck that, I'm not carrying that copper anymore. So there, put it in the fucking inventory so it'll stack. Fucking dumb. So anyways, sulfur, niter, smaller ambers. Can I eat that? No. Wait, there's more? Please let me out of this dungeon. Oh my god, there's more. Where can I leave? Can I leave? Is it through there? It looks like it is through there. I didn't think this went this deep. You won't let me out that way. Okay. I don't remember this. I think I turned around when I killed the boss last time. I'm gonna get this gray bar gone. Are they real, like, mobs? It's scoundrel, scoundrel, scoundrel.
that saw him as just another case number to be dealt with instead of an actual human being with a life, thoughts and feelings. And it doesn't take much imagination to infer that losing access to his daughter, coupled with the shame of a restraining order, put Bill on a downward spiral that ultimately unraveled his entire life. It's just another example of Bill doing what he was told to do, following the rules and putting his faith in a justice system that he was assured was fair and balanced. But just like everything else, it turned out to be a fucking lie, and the people that it hurts most are the dumb saps naive enough to trust it. It almost makes you wonder how many other people have been screwed over and had their lives ruined because some judge decided to make an example out of them. It's worth noting as well that Bill very much clings to the idea of being a good man, a decent citizen who isn't so much breaking the law as standing up for what he believes is right, pushing back against criminals who try to rob and even murder him, greedy corporations screwing over their consumers, unscrupulous businessmen hiking up their prices, and corrupt local governments making life miserable for their own citizens just to justify their own existence. He has a moral code that he abides by. He doesn't harm innocent people, and he reacts with anger when a convenience store owner mistakes him for a robber. He sees that as a complete insult because in his mind, he's not a criminal. He's just doing what he thinks is right. Another thing he clings to is the notion of being a proud American, a patriot, like he's appealing to some old-fashioned sense of shared national pride that nobody else around him seems to feel anymore. When a racist gun store owner mistakes his random crime spree for racially motivated attacks and assumes that they're like-minded individuals, Bill's reaction is one of pure disgust, again invoking the notion that he's American and this other guy is something very different. When he's cornered at the climax of the movie, he explains with a kind of weary pride that he used to work for the defense industry, helping to protect America, a noble profession that he believes should be rewarded, another lie that he was sold. On the other hand, a more modern interpretation of Bill from the big-brained individuals of today could best be summed up as, boo-hoo, straight white man is angry at the world because he doesn't have all of the privilege now. Pass me the world's smallest violin. Again, this is a flawed analysis because it misses the fundamental point that Bill is more than just the sum of his demographic parts. He's more than just the actor playing him. He represents every person who ever fell down and couldn't get back up again. Every person who followed the rules and did what everyone expected and got punished for it, who did everything right and still got screwed over by a system that was stacked against them, who spent their entire life striving for something better only to discover that they were not economically viable. Every person who bought into the great American dream only to be handed the great American lie. And I say this because I want to come back to the point I made at the beginning of this little essay, why this film is even more relevant today than it was in 1993. Well, I'll tell you why. In a world where the gap between rich and poor has never been wider, where kids are pushed into expensive colleges to get useless degrees that leave them with debts they can never hope to repay, where people are making six-figure salaries but can barely afford the rent, where the very idea of owning a home is a crazy pipe dream belonging to previous generations, where people are more angry, more isolated, more medicated, more exploited, and more overwhelmed than at any time in human history, where young people are quietly given up on a society that blatantly doesn't care about them anymore, this movie is more relevant than it ever fucking was. That is what Bill represents. He's everyone, because everyone has the potential to end up just like him. All it really takes is one bad day. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.
You're the video. What was that sound? I want the long desk. I don't want this sword. I'll take the mental healing and I'll put it in my book. Corrupt. Well, my build is good enough to solo the Sewer King, which is good. I wish he dropped the scribing book, though. Now, why couldn't we take these? Did you take them? Yes, you did. Okay. These little barrels are better than I thought. Oh, there was 44 silver. Nice. Oh, wow. 7 more Tendremic rings. Nice. I made quite a lot of money off rings. So... You won't let me out fast, will you? I have to go all the way the fuck back up, which is such a bad decision, you worthless piece of shit developer. Couldn't you not be like that? Haven't you ever played a Diablo dungeon or like a WoW dungeon? I know you're not interested in kissing our asses or making life easy, but I mean, like, come on, man. It took me an hour and a half to get down here or something like that. You're gonna make me go all the way the fuck back through? Why should anybody do a solo dungeon for 3 fucking hours? And it's because you're a poor developer. You make poor choices. Jesus Christ. You make bad choices with your life. And all the mobs are gonna be respawned. I guess there's a little bit of a shortcut out, but not really. Not really. At least it's better than going all the way back the way I came. But, I mean, it is. No, if I want to come back to Fab, I need to just go out the way I came. Which is dumb. I'm not walking... Well, I guess I could spawn out there by the thing and go get another pig. But I didn't pick up my saddle. At least I'm not over. I could have carried heads out of here, but... the inventory's so small, it's worse than rust. Fucking piece of shit brain-dead developers and their fucking malfunctions around inventory size. I just don't understand it. Look at how much loot. You gave me enough to fill 5 inventories like this. And you forced me to throw 4/5 of it away, and I really don't like it. Piece of shit, poor-ass fucking idiot developers and their poor life choices around inventory and bullshit-ass shit like that. After having the New World inventory, I was like, oh god, I didn't know how bad these developers really were about their inventory time sync. Fucking time sync horse shit. This time, 5 years from now, this shit won't exist. But it does right now, and it's disgusting. Fucking piece of shit developers. Imagine how many billions of hours this kind of stuff steals from people who are just trying to have fun. You really like stealing time like that, piece of shit developer? You're that much of a sadist? You like to get up in a gimp suit and let some lady torture you, stomp on your nuts with fucking heels and shit like that, like Hero always says. You're like a sadist. Fucking sadists. Can't stand sadists. I think they're like what I hate most about humanity. Sadist developers that just like want you to suffer wholesale. Walk through the dungeon for 3 fucking hours for no reason, for fucking crappy early game loot. The bags take way too long. That's a time sink too. The bag is just a bad idea, period. The loot should just go into your fucking inventory. The bags are always a bad idea. It makes sense in a Rust game, I guess. So yeah, for this game it does make sense. But most of the time, even, like, clicking a body is a complete waste of time sink that wastes billions of man-hours for no reason. And I mean billions, too. Looting costs billions of hours. Billions. For no reason. Shit that gamers could be doing other stuff, you know? No. You make us do inventory management. Fucking stupid. Worthless piece of shit cocksucker developers. I bet you got eaten alive in high school. Only somebody who got eaten alive in high school would ever be this sadist. You know, it's just clear as day. I didn't know this barrel was here. I'm kinda sorta getting back towards the exit out, but not really. Why would you make a 3-hour starter dungeon? It's so fucking rude. I want to smack you for your time sink sadism. Like, I might swing on you in real life if I ever see you. These devs, they better stay away from me. A bunch of them, I'm swinging on them. Like Helk, I would swing on him. For the fucking door camp, roof camp thing, I would swing on Helk. Swing on him. Bethesda, I would swing on fucking Todd Howard. Swing on him. Liz devs, swing on them. They've stolen so much time from me for no fucking reason. No reason. Time sink is their worst sin. Time is the most valuable thing that mankind has, and the worst time thieves in mankind's history are software developers. Absolutely. No contest. I think oftentimes, every day now, that the software developers actually are secretly the worst people on the planet, like Hitler. The amount of time that they waste is just... It should be criminal. They should face jail time, I think, at some point, so that we can make an example of it, so they stop doing it. Because it's like, man, when you think about how many billions of hours it's cost gamers to go run back to town to drop their full inventory... Disgusting. Don't drop that much loot then, you piece of shit retard developer. Don't drop that much loot then. Maybe I should, like, charge up my bar and then just start dumping, what is it? It's piercing shot. Right, piercing shot's on my mouse 4. Okay. Try dumping piercing shot into people. Here's the bandit leader's chest, but he's not gonna respawn for me. I went out, down further, but I want out now. And I don't remember which way that is. Maybe I'll just kill myself to leave this terrible place. Grats, piece of shit game developer. I'm literally committing commit game suicide just to get away from your dungeon. Where is the fucking exit? Didn't I come this way? Also, the level, it's really hard to tell where the fucking doors are. The walls are too similar. Where is the exit in this fucking place? Where is it? Oh no. Am I gonna go in circles down here? It's unreasonable. If I see you in real life, I'm swinging on you, you fucking disrespectful piece of shit. I'm swinging on you, I swear to God. You can't be acting like this. Not in 2026. Piece of shit. Piece of shit. Every other MMO in the fucking industry connected the crystals except you. Because you're dumb. The most successful ones connected the crystals and added portals. You didn't, that's why you're not successful. Most people can't handle this level of walking. I can't. I full-blown can't. I can't handle the walking. It's It's really mentally sick. Fucking walk speed is mentally sick. It's mentally ill. Not me. Them. They're mentally ill for subjecting us to this fucking walk speed. Now, an armor-piercing arrow should do a lot more damage headshot than my normal headshot, but it doesn't. Fix it. Otherwise, take fucking piercing shot out of the game. Worthless piece of shit, brain-dead developer. Fucking developers passing the cost of business onto the consumer. Look at what it did to Ashes. I hope it happens to you, piece of shit. You've been fucking us on quality of life for 20 years. You don't really deserve the game you have. Let's see, let's pick something else. I guess I stayed up late tonight because the piece of shit developer is a cold, heartless, sadist cocksucker. Yeah, falling down was propaganda. Ooh, here's Mr. Beat in spectacles with the 2020s are the 1890s.
There's a rumor going around that I am Mr. Beat. And lately I've been thinking a lot about the Roman Empire. I mean, the 1890s. You see, it often feels like I'm not living in the 2020s. It feels like I'm watching the
I wonder what this was! I was like, why do I feel like we're redoing the 1920s? Why do I feel like I'm stuck in the early 1900s? It's because piece of shit oligarchs are stomping on us like Rothschilds and JP Morgans. It's why. It's like, we didn't really learn from the last 100 years. We didn't learn from the Holocaust. We deserve 9/11, like Hassan said. We didn't learn. Like, we went over there like Lawrence of Arabia. It's fucking stupid. Like the other white men didn't get fucking slaughtered for doing that. It's fucking stupid. Don't go to the Middle East if you're a white man. You have no business there. It's fucking stupid. Fucking American white men are so goddamn low IQ pieces of shit. Fucking pieces of shit. Dumb as Hitler. Willing to storm into Moscow or fucking Afghanistan. Retarded like Hitler. White men, Americans, retarded like fucking Hitler. Storming Moscow in the winter. Attacking Afghanistan in the summer. Fucking American rich white men are so fucking shitty and stupid. Just like Hitler. You know, their buddy that they quote all the time. Like they never played a game of Rust before. Don't go attack desert. You're fucking stupid. Don't go attack snow. Not unless you live there. You're fucking stupid. I can't believe you were ever a world leader. Building that wall that you didn't build was the worst idea I've ever heard a politician ever say. Besides, like, genocides.
2020s from the 1890s. Some are
fucking, I'll show me a wall, I'll show you a 5-year-old with a shovel, and I'll sap your wall inside of a day. I don't care how big it is. You're fucking stupid. Worthless piece of shit white man fucking up America. This has got to be the longest single-player dungeon in history for the least amount of loot. For fuck's sake, did you aggro? Of course you did. That one did 98, which isn't good enough. Not good enough. Can I shoot them in the chest for the same amount of damage as a headshot? Is that what it actually is? That in for 70. That's a better chest shot that I can always land. That guy was tankier than usual. Please string the arrow. Or draw the arrow, I mean.
Argue that the 2020s
Yeah, end the occupation now.
feel like the 1960s, a decade of protests, political violence, dramatic cultural change, and generational conflict. Others argue
There's a bag on the ground right there, and it has goals, so I have to kill these.
that the 2020s feel more like the 1850s, another time of polarization that saw political violence, the collapse of institutions, and two sides that absolutely refused to compromise and even viewed the other side as existential threats. In this video, I'm going to argue that the 2020s are actually...
You know, history doesn't repeat itself, but it sure does rhyme.
I know that, Philip.
Take the 1890s, for example, a time of extreme wealth inequality.
Well, I was going to say that.
Wealthy industrialists amassed vast fortunes, while workers struggled with low wages and instability.
Wait, now this is a Mr. Beat video, okay?
Wealth concentration reached historic heights.
Oh no! My legs are cut off!
Are you okay?
I'm okay, it's just a green screen effect. I had to get your attention somehow, though. You weren't
Why
paying
did you bump my volume to 100, you fucking piece of shit developer? I haven't had my volume willingly on 100 in 4 fucking years. Why do you constantly do it to me?
attention to me. You were
Stupid
sucked
piece
in the
of
zone.
shit cocksucker
Right.
YouTube developer.
Sorry about that. Wait, how did I get into a Mr. Beat video anyway?
I don't know, man. Maybe a glitch in the Matrix. Regardless of how you got here, it's cool you're here. I'm gonna have you stick around if you don't mind.
Cool.
But if you want to let me set up the introduction,
Sure thing. Industrial titans like John D. Rockefeller and Andrew Carnegie.
Philip, I'll let you know when you can jump in, but just let me.
Okay, sure.
Okay. And then maybe I can jump into a spectacles video? Huh?
Think about it.
Dang, bro. Well, in this video, I'm going to argue that the 2020s are most like the 1890s, at least here in the United States. And here are 12 reasons why.
Please fire. Please fire. Please fire.
In the
Please
early
fire.
1890s, Americans were going
Shouldn't
through
have
its
to beg.
worst
Piece of shit
economic
developer.
crisis yet, the Great Depression. No, not that Great Depression, the OG Great Depression, which we had to change the name of in history textbooks since, you know, the Great Depression kind of surpassed it. We call it the Long Depression because it was really long. The longest depression in American history. Again, economists are not that creative when it comes to naming recessions and depressions. Anyway, Americans, as humans tend to do, looked for scapegoats, people to blame for their misery. And the low-hanging fruit, sadly, was already marginalized communities. The usual suspects: immigrants, African Americans,
White people.
Native Americans. For the first time, the federal
The only
government
inferior
passed
race.
laws restricting immigration. Racist laws like the Chinese Exclusion Act, Jim Crow laws, or state and local laws that enforced racial segregation, mostly in southern states, were very common by the 1890s. In 1896, the Supreme Court even upheld this racial segregation. By the 1890s, Americans had stolen nearly all Native American land. But they didn't stop there. On December 29th, 1890, in what became known as the Wounded Knee Massacre, U.S. Army troops murdered hundreds of Lakota civilians at Wounded Knee Creek in South Dakota. The federal government even had the audacity to award some of the soldiers who murdered civilians medals of honor. Well, here in the 2020s, after decades of people trying to get those medals of honor revoked, now we literally have the Secretary of Defense saying,
Under my direction, we're making it clear without hesitation that the soldiers who fought in the Battle of Wounded Knee in 1890 will keep their medals. and we're making it clear that they deserve those medals.
This is a reflection of
No,
a
they
much
don't.
bigger reactionary trend currently happening not just in the United States, but around the entire world. As the economy has gotten worse in the 2020s, people have looked for scapegoats. Recent demographic shifts and social liberalism, combined with media hysteria, has made it easier to find such scapegoats. Immigrants, of course, are still the main scapegoat. There have been brutal immigrant takedowns, sometimes even of legal citizens. We've seen a backlash against the LGBT plus community, particularly the transgender community. We've seen a backlash against voting access expansion. Overall, though, people are increasingly rebelling against, quote, the establishment, or those who they view as the elites in power. The 1890s were peak second industrial revolution time, baby. Unlike the first industrial revolution of around 100 years prior, which revolved around a lot on textile manufacturing and steam power, the second industrial revolution revolved around electricity, steel production, and big-time advancements in communication technologies. All of a sudden, everything and everybody in the world were connected, and this dramatic technological change had a big impact on people psychologically, morally, and obviously economically. I mean, for the first time, you had telegraphs, telephones, light bulbs, motion pictures, mass circulation newspapers. People freaked out about this stuff when it first came out. Want an example of this? In 1891, after electricity was first installed at the White House, President Benjamin Harrison famously was terrified to touch light switches because he thought he'd get electrocuted. But overall, folks worried that all this new technology was corrupting the kids, destroying jobs, and they even were afraid it was overstimulating the public. Sound familiar? In the 2020s, similar concerns surround artificial intelligence, or AI, social media, and automation. All part of what some folks call the fourth industrial revolution. The third industrial revolution revolved around the shift from mechanical and analog to digital and micro, by the way. Anyway, in the 2020s, many people are freaking out that this new fourth industrial revolution is hurting kids' ability to socialize and be happy, shortening our attention spans, killing jobs, and leading to too much misinformation. Hey, speaking of which, due to all this new communication technology, the 1890s saw the first time misinformation quickly spread around the world, thanks to the influence of dudes like William Randolph Hearst and Joseph Pulitzer, or journalism that sensationalizes the truth to get the reader's attention became huge. These newspapers fueled moral panics, exaggerated stories, and straight up just made up stuff. Most famously, they almost single-handedly created public support for the Spanish-American War. Hell yeah, imperialism is coming up later in this video. In the 2020s, social media and algorithm-driven platforms play a comparable role, quickly amplifying misleading or false claims because they generate clicks, shares, and engagement. In both the 1890s and 2020s, a new, fast-spreading form of media that rewarded speed of delivery and outrage over accuracy put people into completely different realities. Hey, you want to know one way to fight back against misinformation? By critically thinking. And I've got a book that inspires us to do just that. The book, man. Quite literally, the book. The ultimate guide to rebuilding civilization. Yeah, let's check it out. Starting with making a fire, which is pretty handy. I love the graphics in this. Edible and inedible plants. I feel like I just want to become a survivalist now. So, as you can see, it's visually stunning, high paper quality and binding, meant to last a millennia, not a decade. Each book contains a secret puzzle for readers to discover, adding an extra layer of intrigue and interactivity. It's captivating for both your technical and humanities-minded friends. Friends? Yeah, friends. Not those friends, your real life friends. This would make the perfect gift for your smart friend or yourself, since, you know, you're pretty smart too. Childbirth, are you kidding me? Seriously, one of the coolest books I've ever seen. Check the link in the description of this video to buy yourself a copy. Use code MrBeat10 and you can get 10% off your order. Thanks to Hungry Minds, the creative team of artists, scientists, designers, architects, and entrepreneurs behind this book for sponsoring this video. First of all, when I say corporate consolidation, I'm talking about huge companies merging to form even bigger, huge companies to a point where no matter what industry or market, there's just a handful of companies competing. And yep, the two most striking examples we see of corporate consolidation in American history happened in the 1890s and today. In the 2020s. By the 1890s, the United States had gone through very rapid industrialization. Railroads linked the national economy together, making it so companies were able to make more money by far than ever before. Companies got even bigger when turning to both horizontal and vertical integration in order to dominate markets. By the way, horizontal integration simply just means one company buys up its competition, while vertical integration simply just means one company owns the entire supply chain. This environment led to trusts, or legal arrangements that let multiple companies operate under centralized control. Standard Oil alone controlled nearly 90% of the American oil refining capacity by the early 1890s. For crying out loud. The 1890s saw the peak of monopolies.
Because I don't know how. I know how. It's 3:45 in the morning on a
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
The main problem with monopolies is that they can take it.
God damn it! I missed a whole bunch of this. Go back. But I don't know. I don't know why I haven't seen somebody. I did. I saw somebody in here already. I did see somebody in here, and they like skated. This dungeon is far too big. Oh my god, far too many mobs. Please fire, please fire. Please fire, please fire, please fire. You better not crash me when I execute. Please move. Why can't I move? Let me move. Finally, the exit. Took me another goddamn hour. It took me an hour to leave. The same hour it took me to get in. It's so disrespectful. I'd fucking swing on him if I saw him in public. I'd get up from the laptop after playing his game, fucking sock him in the fucking face. For this hour he stole from me. Jesus Christ, disrespectful piece of shit developers. Anyways, I'm gonna get off it. Fucking Christ, why did this dungeon need to be 2 hours? Why? I left the raid scene fucking 10 years ago. I don't do 2-hour dungeons, piece of shit developer. What's your fucking malfunction? This game needs a Hearthstone. Sure, make it this terrible 50-hour quest or something, but it needs a Hearthstone. Make it a mage thing. Who cares? Make Warlock a thing. Whatever. I guess they do. They have portals, but not the right ones. Unfortunately.
First of all, when I say corporate consolidation, I'm talking about huge companies merging to form even bigger huge companies, to a point where no matter what industry or market, there's just a handful of companies competing. And yep, the two most striking examples we see of corporate consolidation in American history happened in the 1890s and today. In the 2020s. By the 1890s, the United States had gone through very rapid industrialization. Railroads linked the national economy together, making it so companies were able to make more money by far than ever before. Companies got even bigger when turning to both horizontal and vertical integration in order to dominate markets. By the way, horizontal integration simply just means one company buys up its competition, while vertical
like Microsoft
simply just means one company owns the entire supply chain. This environment led to trusts, or legal arrangements that let multiple companies operate under centralized control. Standard Oil alone controlled nearly 90% of the American oil refining capacity by the early 1890s, for crying out loud. The 1890s saw the peak of monopolies, or when one seller dominates a market. And the main problem with monopolies is that they can take advantage of their power by charging ridiculously high prices. Sound familiar? In the 2020s, advances in digital technology, data aggregation, and logistics have made it so that companies are making more money by far than ever before. Network effects, in which platforms become more valuable as more users join, created natural monopolies in parts of the economy like retail or entertainment. Meanwhile, decades of deregulation, lackluster antitrust enforcement, globalization, and the growing importance of finance in growing the economy have encouraged mergers and acquisitions across industries ranging from airlines to telecommunications to healthcare to agriculture. The result has been high concentration in many markets, leading to higher prices and lower quality of all kinds of goods and services. For example, some research has suggested that hospital mergers have caused price increases as high as 65% in recent years, despite a decline in quality of service.
But Mr. Beat, there's more.
Okay, now you can talk.
These big companies didn't just exercise outsized sway over prices and consumer choice, they also paid almost no taxes and had practically free reign over their industrial practices, which destroyed the environment, and their labor practices, which abused workers with short-term contracts in dangerous factories.
Well, that sounds familiar too.
And they were able to do all this because these companies were actually bigger than the government.
No way.
Yes way. Up to this point in American history, it was states who were responsible for regulating business, and now corporations were suddenly national, too big for states to handle, until politics went national with Teddy and Franklin Roosevelt.
13 gold
And
isn't
now,
bad.
We have a similar.
It would have been
Corporations
25 or
are now
30 though if the
multinational,
DC didn't
and
happen
they're
right at
just
the
as hard to
boss.
regulate as national
Seems like
corporations were.
Pretty
in the
convenient
1890s.
fuck up bug.
it sounds like a real tricky
Seems pretty
situation.
convenient that it killed me right
It
at the
is.
boss,
And,
right
we've
5
got
feet
a
from the
whole video
boss.
on it, which you should
Come
go
on,
watch,
man.
but only after you finish this one.
Saved yourself there. That's good. All right. And due to this corporate consolidation, a few people have become filthy. Filthy rich, I mean.
No, you don't.
In the 1890s, wealth inequality was out of control. The richest 1% of Americans controlled as much as 51%
What?
of the wealth.
They've always been doing this. I mean, they don't talk about finances in school that much.
The poorest 50% of Americans probably control less than
No, it's like what? It's like history, but they don't talk about financial history beyond like, hey, there was a market crash in 1929. Remember the year 1929? You know, that was like, yeah, that's like the extent of the American education system, besides like maybe economics or math. You know, like there is some economics and home economics stuff, and there is economics and math and stuff in college and in high schools and stuff. But they don't really teach us about financial literacy or history at all. We have no idea this stuff is even a thing.
1% of the wealth. Sound familiar?
Sound familiar?
It does. Yes,
In
it
the 2020s,
does.
wealth inequality is once again near historic highs. Today, the richest 1% of Americans control at least 31% of the wealth.
Long desk is
The
cool.
poorest 50% of Americans control less than 3% of the wealth. Sure, that's not as bad as the 1890s, but at no other time in American history has wealth inequality been as bad as it is right now, other than the 1890s. And that's pretty wild.
It is, and we talk all about that.
I didn't
too,
die.
in our video.
Yeah, almost forgot you were standing there. Yeah.
I'm watching.
Hey, 3 gold. How am I
And a
making
big
3
reason
gold on
why
4
this corporate
gold sales is
consolidation and
cute.
extreme wealth inequality have both happened is because corrupt politicians have allowed it to happen. Heck, in some instances, they've even benefited from it happening. In the 1890s, political machines, or highly organized political organizations that often controlled cities or even entire regions, controlled votes and held on to power through a combination of loyalty and favors. You vote this way, you get money. But if you vote this way, you lose money. You vote this way, you gain a bunch of new friends. But if you vote this way, you gain a bunch of new enemies. In the 1890s, the spoils system, aka patronage, which basically said you should reward the people who got you elected, was still around, although on the decline. Overall, though, in the 1890s, it was still incredibly easy to bribe politicians if a corporation wanted to get a law passed, or perhaps more importantly, if they wanted to prevent a law from getting passed, they could just buy a politician by funding their campaign and then threatening to take away campaign funding if that politician didn't fall in line. Sound familiar?
Yep.
In the 2020s, corruption is back to 1890s levels, baby. Sure, bribery
Great.
has always been a problem in Washington, D.C., but now it seems to be worse for various reasons. In the landmark case Citizens United v. FEC, the Supreme Court ruled that laws restricting political spending by corporations and political organizations went against the First Amendment. Well, this decision has made it easier for corporations, super PACs, and just overall rich folks to spend lots of money to influence politicians. And due to this, they now have a huge influence over policy. Not only that, today we have the rampant practice of lobbyists and special interest employers hiring former politicians and government officials, thus causing politicians and government officials to be too nice to industries they hope to work for in the future. There's regulatory capture, in which regulatory agencies serve the interests of the industries they are supposed to regulate instead of, us.
Like own us. Yeah. Anyways, I love you guys. Thank you so much. You have been watching Skycat Live. I'm a full-time variety gamer all day, every day. Come to skycat.live and come click on the cat space to donate. Come to the Twitch or the YouTube. Give me a like, sub, or follow. I have many thousands of videos on my YouTube channel, which is reflected here in my channel. Getting some hits and stuff lately, which is good. 17 hits on that one, right on. And yeah, getting some good hits on this stuff lately, which is cool. And yep, and I love you guys. Thank you so much for your time. This session was recorded and it was 14 hours long, and or 13 hours and 55 minutes to be correct. And I'm going to stop the video here with a reminder that you've been watching Skycat Live. Thank you. I love you. Check in with me tomorrow for another 14 hours of fun. And I will be playing some more Mortal and Once Human and Eve. I love you guys. Thank you so much. In 2 days, we have the Rust Naval update. In 3 days, we've got the Quinfall 1.0 release. In I don't know how many days, we have Grand Theft Auto 6, and those are the 3 things I'm waiting for. But 2 of the things are this week, which is cool. And I didn't even know Quinfall was getting a 1.0, which is cool. How are we doing that? And there's the video I was watching, and so I will stop this video. Thank you so much, guys. You've been watching Skycat Live. I'll see you in a bit. This stream will end in a few minutes while I title videos and stuff and publish, but you know,